Yeah, it's so crazy that you just like at some point go from being like children to being adults with your siblings. It's super weird, man.
Yeah. I think like my sister and I, when we were younger, we used to fight like all the time.
Hmm.
And my parents would always be like, the classic thing where like, I'm gonna turn this car around. Or like, if you wanna fight on the highway. They didn't mean it, but they're like, fight on the highway, get out. And then or at one point, I remember my dad would be like, Shoomimi, stop fighting with your sister. Stop talking. You guys are not allowed to talk to each other anymore because all you're gonna do is fight. And so this is what I started doing. I was like, I made up an imaginary friend who sat between us, and I would just be like, "Hey, imaginary friend, can you tell my sister that she's stinky?"
Wait, we had something really similar, which was my mom made a rule that we could only compliment each other. So then I would just be like, "You look beautiful today." But I would like, and then she would know what it would mean, and she would just be like, "You're very smart."
You're like, you did not just say that.
Because we knew there was a hidden meaning, you know? You got the glare that goes along with it. You're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I love you so much. You're such a good sister.
I love you so much. And then my sister started doing it back, but then my parents would get like kind of peeved at us, and then we just started laughing and kept doing it because it was bugging my parents.
Did you team up against them ever?
We did. Oh, 100%. Because they often team up against us.
Yeah, if they're gonna unionize, you've got to unionize.
Exactly. It's like if we're having an argument, sometimes they'll just like tap. It's like they'll tap out, and then the other will start talking to us about it, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, my sister is currently being like, my parents are just tag teaming and being rude to her. Well, like, I don't know, for whatever reason. There's like always some kind of fight or whatever, right? And I'm like, hey, let me back you up. I may be 5 years younger than you and barely understanding of the topic that's happening, but I
may
will
be
your
a child. You may be a child, but together
we will be a union.
Dude, once we were fighting in the car, and my parents were like, you can each only choose one word, and that's the only word you can say until you get better. And so I chose beanie and she chose butt, but we were like upset at my parents, so we just went beanie butt, beanie butt back and forth for like a 2-hour car ride.
The best way to, at least like for me and my sister, to get over our fights are to team up against my parents.
Yes! A common enemy.
Because you're
exactly.
That's
what
enemy
builds
of my enemy is
coalitions.
my friend. It's true. Yeah, but my sister, I think, really not like, okay, so like part of it is that I was quite gullible, but the other part is that I like seeing my sister, like, I don't know, prank me and then see it succeed.
Yeah.
So then she would be like, I don't know, she would be like, oh, did you know that if you take this piece of paper, this little piece, and then you keep chewing it for a long time, it'll start to taste good? And I'm like, I know that's not true. But then I just started eating paper.
Dude, my sister did that with lemons. She was like, if you eat 9 lemons, you get superpowers. And
yes!
I ate like 6 entire lemons. Which, if you're ever wondering,
lemon?
Yeah, peel and all, rind and all. And I'll tell you, at first, you're like, oh, the fruit is the good part and the rind is the bad part. But after like 4 lemons, your mouth starts bleeding, and then the rind is the good part and the fruit is the bad part.
Oh my god.
Taryn, welcome! Thank you for the follow!
Oh my god, was your mouth okay? Did it actually start bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
But it's okay now.
Okay, I mean, that's good.
She
but
felt really bad. She was like she was instantly like, no, don't do that. And I was like, wait, why? Why wouldn't I do that? Of course I want to do that.
My sister did a similar thing, but instead, it was with like Sichuan peppers, like Szechuan peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole thing is that they're like a numbing spice, right?
Oh, yeah.
So then like they give you that little numbing feeling where you're like, oh, I can't really feel my mouth anymore. And so I knew what it was, but then my sister would be like, here, look at these little things. Just try popping one in your mouth. Just do it. Try it. And I'm like, I knew what it was, but I was like, I will entertain this. And then I did, and then I was like, oh no. I mean, my mouth was numb, but I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect my mouth to go numb. She got a good kick out of it. She was like, loser. She didn't call me a loser.
Did she? You gotta be honest. Did she call you a loser?
I don't think she called me. We actually didn't really call each other losers that often.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the Camp Rock thing where you're like, whatever, major loser, you know, like with your hands. I don't have you seen Camp Rock?
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I haven't, but I know the thing you're
Yes.
talking about where you're like, whatever,
Yeah, you make-
and then major
Yeah.
loser. They can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but I
Exactly.
promise it makes sense.